we don't need to introduce Chris Pratt. He is the biggest sensation around. He is so wonderful. He's been wonderful since the day I met him, which is a long time ago. He
Hmm.
brings you messages that could you all read what he does, and he's amazing. He's amazing with all his readings. He's amazing with his channels, and he is certainly amazing with what he put together to teach you all how to learn all kinds of things that you want in your life and to make it work. How's it going?
It's going. We're actually, I just kind of have been making a lot of updates, a lot of changes to it. It's all, all the changes I make to Debt Makers are based off of community feedback and everything. So the community's been amazing, all the people that we have in there. And yeah, we're actually doing a special all-day masterclass on the 16th, where we're going to help people kind of set up the whole system. That's what's going on. That's what I've been working on.
I love it, and as you see my hands going, because I'm not Italian, but I kind of am.
Kind of.
Hands, yes. In fact, they voted me into the Italian club.
I believe it.
I think that's wonderful, Chris. One of the big things that I don't think people like hear enough of is you put this together to help create.
Right.
Really, that's what it is. You're helping them create who they are, correct?
Yeah, and I was stuck for a long, long time in my life, so that's really the reason I created it. Because, like a lot, I was just overcomplicating everything in my life. So I'm a classic overcomplicator. So, I figured eventually I learned that simplifying things, keeping things simple, is really the answer. And that's the whole point: keeping it simple, doing what works, and just sticking to that.
I love that. I always complicate things too. Well, I don't know if I complicate things. I make it twice as hard. So
Yeah, exactly.
and I look
At least.
to think how, hey, how is he doing this? And how did he get this, fantastic, platform? And we're really glad that you do, because it's really about getting back to the people that you are, your fans and all the people who follow you, because you're really doing it for them to get ahead in their life. And I love that, because, as a counselor, that's the best thing you
Of
can do.
course.
Also, I want to hear about Winning Pond, because this is new. Winning Pond. Please tell us about Winning Pond.
Yeah, Winning Pond is well, originally it was just a newsletter, and so it's the newsletter for Minnow Pond. And I think I actually don't remember who it was, but someone came up with the name Winning Pond. I think I was looking for a name for something else, and one of the subscribers came up with the name, and so that became the newsletter side of it for Minnow Pond.
I love it, Chris. I think that is the coolest thing. I love everything. I love your names. I love what it represents. And for everybody who knows me, I don't say that to everyone. So I do want you to know, even though I am enamored with what he does and how he does it, it is really genuine. We've got a couple of things to talk about today, and I'm going to bring them up really quick. Anybody who would like to have Chris read or me read for you or answer your questions, please put them in the question box, because we get really quick through the chat. And sometimes I can't see because it goes to the next question, the next question. But if you put them in the question box, or you want to talk to us live, we're going to pick some people to do that with. But Chris, you've had a busy month.
Yeah, very busy. Yep.
And what I didn't talk to you about, when I did, call, and I thought, oh, if you think I'm crazy, is you had a conference that you actually participated in.
Yep, that was Unite the Light. So I was there, spoke on both days, and we spoke about Debt Makers there, and also we actually spoke about AI and technology on the second day, and so that was in Austin.
I love AI. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I do know they're going to take over the world, and I'm not sure I think it's bad. They could have my job any day, but I do believe it's here to stay.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that but then it was I didn't even know I'm going to get on the subject, but for me, when teachers get, and I'm looking at, that's where their problem is, that kids use it to write papers. But I do have to tell you, because I have an ADHD kid, although when you use AI, you still have to read through your paper, because
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you have to instill things. So for me, they're still learning and they're still having to read what they put. And for kids who aren't going to do it anyway, I think it actually teaches them. So I wouldn't be too fearful if I was college, teachers, because I think there's a place for it and it's
Mhm.
here to stay. So I don't feel like it should be something that's held back or being upset. I think that, I don't, well, so how do you feel about AI?
Same. All my teachers said I wouldn't have a calculator in my pocket, but I'm talking to you on it right now. So they were all wrong. I failed math. All how I graduated high school, I have no clue because I never passed math. So and I have a calculator right here. I've never used algebra ever in my entire life. So I that's how I feel about it. I think there people are going to use it. Sure, will it make some people lazy? Sure, absolutely. But I was a copywriter for many years. And I've written copy with AI even just recently. But when I look at it, it's not like amazing. It's not really that great. So it's been great for structure. It's been great for putting together structure for copy. But I still have to go through it. I still have to fix things. I still have to add a lot of stuff because
Yeah.
it's not like as amazing as people think. And I think it's hearsay, of course. It'll just be a layer on people's
And
lives.
it's really big in medicine right now.
Yeah.
And here I'm going to give you an example because then maybe it'll be now. I know I saw somebody in chat say they don't really like AI. Well, that's because AI, remember, we have great people and challenging people that use AI.
Yeah.
So you're all have something that is going to be wonderful that AI can do, and then it's going to be a scam of taking jobs and things like that. And so yeah, everything does have a flip side to it. Who wrote that? Grant said numerology is the best way to get kids into numbers. That's true. It's what
That's very true. Yeah.
but I have to tell you that in medicine, so there are people who Google what they have, right?
Right. Yeah.
And doctors don't love that because they'll
Right.
say, you know, Google it, then what job do we have? And if you're Googling it, you're wrong. So you have that. But what meta AI does is actual. If you looked at, they're using it for the brain.
Yeah.
So you can't get, they're using it to go into the brain and pinpoint the tumor. So it does it so much better because
Hmm.
it takes the pathways that we can't always see and it tells them they get like a GPS map. So there are things that AI are going to be used for. And yes, it's not going to take that brain surgeon's job away because it's just not right
Right
now.
now.
But
Yeah.
it's going to help you. It's going to help you medically. So, I look at AI like if people go, oh, well, I Googled it. Well, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Because you got AI, you use AI or you can use Google. But anyway, enough about AI. So tell me more about the conference. So what did you take away? The biggest part of what you did for the conference, and what did you take away?
I had a major realization when I was on stage when I was giving my first talk. That actually, maybe this isn't very important, but it was important to me. While I was talking, I had this kind of like breakthrough moment where I realized that a lot of the stuff I talk about is structure. So it kind of changed things, for me moving forward. I am like obsessed with the structure of how things work or how to kind of create templates for things. We're talking about like everything, business, for videos, all this other stuff. And so I kind of had a moment where I realized that, I want to talk more about structure and setting up structure. It's a thing that, as an ADHD kid, right? Structure definitely makes things a lot better for me, just having, kind of rules to follow or structures to follow. And so that was a realization I had. I realized that I really like talking as well. Obviously, I'm a Gemini moon, so motor mouth, right? I have no problem talking in front of people. So I definitely want to talk more, and that definitely a change I want to make.
I love that. And I saw you for everybody who either saw Chris at this conference or, got glimpses of him there. What I picked up really quickly, and I think I told you this, is you were in a crystal shop.
Yeah.
And crystals are so cool because, they bring energy and they, I don't know how, because you look at them and they're gorgeous. You think, how could they bring energy? And they actually do. They have their own
Mm.
and even people who are scientists know that. So it's not like anything just in the metaphysical community. And when I saw you standing with the most gorgeous crystals, I mean, there were huge, some of them. All I kept thinking about and seeing was you are healing the crystals. That's the energy you bring
Yeah.
to and brought with you to that place. And I feel that the universe puts people on earth and puts people here to do just that. So I loved when I saw it. I physically saw it. And I just want you to know that was so cool.
Yeah, it was a cool place.
Yeah. So was this the first one you've ever done or?
First conference?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my very first conference.
And I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're going to plan to do more.
Yeah, we already have, we're planning on doing Nashville next year. So and we have other things in the works as well. So, yep.
I love it. I'm seeing some people talking about crystal sonam. I love that. Um, I love the raw rainbow moonstone. You know, I can't tell you, you must have loved being there. Digressing into this one, but I know that I could feel the energy coming as you were walking around, and I knew this wouldn't be your last conference.
Yeah, definitely not.
I know. And do you know where your next one's going to be?
We don't. It is in Nashville. We don't know where it's going to be yet. So not yet, but it will be in. I think we're doing it in June. So 1 year from now, pretty much.
Well, excuse me, but I'm going to come.
Yes,
You
of
do know
course.
that. If I have to sit there and point at you, I will be there because that's a doable thing for me. So I hope a lot of people, and I don't know if you put it out there, 6 months ahead of time or ever, but it's something really that anybody that wants to go, I definitely, that's something I'm going to do and bring some people with me. So please keep us informed.
Of course.
Of that. And now the next thing I want to say, and I love it, is that I'm not telling anybody where you moved, but you did have a move, and I love for you. And so you moved, you did a conference, and I got sick, and everything. It was all in with the 3-week period.
Yeah.
So it is crazy. Have you been settled now? Are you settling into your new place?
Yeah, I'm a little tired today actually, but yeah, I've settled in. We've been here I think we got here on the 30th. So however many days that is, I've lost all time. So I only just got hot water on today. So we had to wait for the gas company to come turn on hot water. So that was nice. But yeah, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Luckily I knew I was moving a couple months beforehand. So I got all packed before I went to Texas, flew to Texas, flew home, drove out. So yeah, it's been action packed for sure.
Well, you didn't have much time to really even get to walk around, do anything, and but you know what I always say, you're young, you're my daughter, and you have the stamina, ability, and and everything that will help you move forward in very quick motion. I remember I moved several times, and it was like I miss kind of moving. I mean, we've been now a while, and for everybody who doesn't know where I'm at, because I've got like no sleeves on, Florida is about 100 degrees.
I believe it.
It's quite hot. And you're supposed to move to Florida, but you refuse to do it. I
do refuse to move to Florida. Too hot because it's 100 degrees. That's why.
You do know that they have air conditioning and everything.
I know. Yeah, but I like to go outside, so it's too hot.
Well, that's true. So I would, and I know you'd have to change from black to white shirts because
I would.
And I love what you're. So the thing is, you'll have to stay in Nashville for a while. And Nashville is, you're going to be hot anyway because it
is warm. It is warm. Yeah.
Well, I am happy, and I'm happy that you're settled, and I'm happy that you did your conference and everything worked out really well. I want to look at the sky, Chris, because we've got some things happening. Especially, it turned to Gemini season.
It is Gemini season. Yeah.
It is the twins, and for Geminis out there, put it in chat if you can. This is a really cool sign, as Chris will tell you. I always, it always stuck in my crow because they say, each zodiac has something they're known for. Like Scorpio is known for being a sign. Taurus is known for being, the most feely and loving sign with Venus there. Well, you do know that Gemini, the twins, is known for
Yeah. I, I, go for it. What were you gonna say?
it. They are supposed to be the smartest,
Hmm.
most intelligent sign in the zodiac. Well, I thought Cancer was. So, disappointed. But go ahead, Chris. Tell me about Gemini.
Yeah, I think Gemini is, kind of able to look at both sides of issues. It's really funny, even just thinking about that crystal shop, right? I was thinking about this when I was there because I knew we were coming up on Gemini season. Is the crystal shop had two different shops. It had two places. One side of it was like a totally different shop. It was the same business, but they kind of sold bulk crystals, right? They sold a bunch of stuff. And then the other side was more kind of like it was just the more retail shop or whatever you want to call it. So it had like two sides. And I noticed, like, even since I've moved, I've been noticing two sides of everything, right? And so I think Gemini is really good at looking at two sides. Here we are talking about AI. We're talking about AI at this, and it's like, well, everything has like two sides, and the good and the bad, or however you want to look at it. And so I think it's interesting that these things are kind of being brought up right now.
I do too, and I also we'll get into you have a new moon and a full moon in
Right.
Gemini area, but I'll tell you what they're in. But well, you probably know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gemini, and I'm going to bring this up because I always get a kick out of this. There's two signs in the zodiac that have the twins.
Yep.
One being Gemini,
Yeah.
and the other your sign.
Pisces. Yep.
Yeah. And that always fascinates me because it's always about two. And if you look at the people and look at their lives, of course, with Gemini, usually you see you could have two different partners, you could have two different jobs, two different mindsets, two different ways of looking at things. And I love that. For you and for, Pisces, it's about the fish swimming in different directions, trying to equalize yourselves to make sure that you're swimming to get, you're always swimming opposite, but that you're always looking to swim together. That's how I look at it. And so that in your life is really great. And then you've got Pisces, that you've got Gemini, which is right now looking at the twins, two different. And I love that. So, and they're the most intelligent. Think about that. Well, I guess they're better than one, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now we do have a new moon coming up on the 6th.
6. Yeah.
That is in Gemini. And we could talk about the new moon real quickly, but we also have a strawberry moon, which we could do later on in the month, but it's on the 21st or 22nd. It's in Capricorn. And it's strawberry moon. So I'm sure you're going to get involved in that and do everything. Oh, yeah. So let me ask, the new moon in Gemini, and it's coming up very quickly. New moon is about new beginnings, correct?
Yep.
So what do you feel in Gemini we have new coming up?
Yeah, and I think that, speaking of the duality thing, it's fun. And just today they announced that there's like a new algorithm change on YouTube, and I was thinking about this morning. Yeah, I know, right? And so what they're doing is they're kind of promoting smaller channels more, so that they can get smaller channels out there. And so a lot of people, there are like some big people, some small people. It's like some people like the change, some people are worried about the change, especially the bigger people. Maybe they've noticed their views are going down. So I think it's no mistake that that's happened at this time as well. But really, it's the thing that I always think about with Gemini as well is that both things are true. It's like whatever you believe is, whether you think that your life is going to collapse and things are going to disappear, then that's true. If you think that things are going to get better, then you'll probably find some way to make things better. And so I think a lot of people could be experiencing this right now. There are some other things that I think about, that kind of could be making these changes right now as well. But I think that, it's like we all have a choice. And so everybody needs to choose, like right now, what they want.
I love that. And you better choose good.
Obviously.
Because,
yeah, of course.
The thing is, I keep telling everybody, and it started in May, that this is the manifesting season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Can you go through that? Because, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's like just looking at the chart here. I mean, I think that there's a lot of good stuff that's coming up for manifestation. I think also something people need to remember is that we had Jupiter in Taurus, and I always think of astrology as when we have a planet like Jupiter in Taurus, a big planet like that. when it's in the sign, that's when we're learning how to work with the energy. And then when it leaves, that's when we should really be working with the energy even more, because you learned how to do whatever you had to learn how to do while Jupiter was in Taurus. And so now it's time for you to like put into practice all the things that you learned, because now is when you will actually get the benefits of, Jupiter being in Taurus. So, all that Taurian energy, we still have, the moon's in Taurus today. Uranus, Mercury are in Taurus right now. So we still have all this Taurus energy where we can manifest with that. And, Taurus is great for manifestation. And, Uranus will be there till like the end of 2025 as well. So I think like now is the time to start manifesting.
Absolutely. And I love when I hear your Uranus, Uranus, you're this, that, you want to call it. Because it's always the planet, I feel, of surprise. Total. You
Yeah, absolutely.
with Uranus, you don't know what's coming a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then you had it in an earth sign, which is Taurus, which is super cool, because I always feel that and probably nobody wants to hear what I think, but I always feel, I want to think what you think, but I always feel on Taurus, it's all about love and beauty and smells and things, even though you see the bull in the china closet. The problem is with Uranus, well, actually, it's not a problem, I don't think. It's things that'll happen surprisingly in those areas. So I always look at Uranus as a really great thing, because I don't want to know everything. I don't want surprises. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think people think they want to know, but really life would be pretty boring if we knew everything, right? So I think that's part of it. I look at Uranus like the Wheel of Fortune. And so, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have a choice. You also have a choice. Like we're talking about Gemini here. You can take control of your destiny, or you can let your wheel spin out of control. So really, it's about taking control of things. I always say with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like you want to take care of things. The challenges you want to take care of right away, and then the good stuff you want to double down on. So same thing with Uranus energy. It's like when a challenge comes up, don't be afraid of it. You can handle it. I truly believe that the universe doesn't give you anything you can't handle. So take care of the challenge right away and double down on the good stuff, and before you know it, you'll have control over your destiny. So that's what I would do.
I love that. And I'd like to, we can, if you want to, we can go either right to the audience and we can answer questions. You got a lot of questions there. Or, I always love pulling out the astrology signs and, just giving everybody a little bit of tip. We can do this for the new moon, since it's something new coming in and the new beginnings, which is what I always feel new moons are. Do you too, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a great time for new beginnings. So I've definitely been looking forward to this one. So I'm going to be I'm working on new stuff right now. So yeah.
Well, you already have new beginnings. You have new.
Yeah. I'm always working on something new.
I think you never get a full moon. I think you're always in a new moon, Chris. But because I don't see any endings happening with you. But well, maybe no. This month I see so much new beginnings where you already started. So your new beginnings have already started.
Right.
So I had a pull from this deck. It's called The Universe Has Your Back. But before I do, and then you want to go through, we'll start again with
Aries.
But and I have brain fog from my husband said to me, but did you know that you had brain fog even before you did? I said, no, I had brain fog. So I'm sorry if I trip over some of the things. But I do want to give one card. I actually can pull my flower deck too. But what's funny is for today, I pulled the Yellow Rose. This is for everybody. And what it is, and I know you'll love this for Gemini, is balance, work, rest, and play. And it's the Yellow Rose. And it says, important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. That for you right now, Chris, is also part of it, between moving and doing your, all of your conference ending right. And you starting all your new things, work and rest and play, play makes, they say too much work makes somebody a dull boy. So make sure that you're not dull ever. You need to be balanced. And this isn't just for you. This is what I pulled for everybody in the audience. So let's go to Aries and do that.
Aries, Aries, new beginning. So Knight of Wands. Sorry, I don't have my lights up in here yet, so it's hard to see. But Knight of Wands, I think exciting new beginnings. I think Aries should move towards excitement, desire, air play, right? Knight of Wands also can be kind of like a very playful energy as
I
well.
love that. And Aries is so fun. It's, the zodiac's the beginning. And I love that. Pusher the end. Also. And I have for you, Aries, oneness is my nature. So that means, get it all together, look at it as and pull the manifestation of really seeing what you want. Because oneness means pull all your stuff together. You have too much stuff you're thinking about, too many irons in the fire. Pull it together, and you're going to have a really good time. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Taurus, you have the Temperance card. So I'm like Taurus, I feel like you need to keep going with like follow through on something or keep pushing through something here. It's a card of patience, but I feel that there's something that you have to keep working on. I don't know, it's popping into my head that way, Taurus. I'm not getting any traditional stuff here, but it's whatever you're working on, I would just give it a little bit extra juice here because I think it'll be worth it. Especially if this is like a project or something that could lead to like a leadership opportunity is what I'm getting here. So there you go.
I love that for
Yeah.
Taurus. I mean, they're remember, Bull in a China Castle, you are
Yeah.
leading the way. So, and this I have is through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. And that's a thing that, Taurus does. Taurus likes fine things, everything, fine lotions, fine feels. So peace is really important to them, I feel. So there you go, Taurus.
Gemini, you have the Knight of Cups. Really good time for love. I mean, Sun and Venus are combust today. They are right on top of each other. So even right now, but Venus will be in your sign for like a little while longer, and it could just be a really good time for you to get attention. Whenever you have the Sun in your own sign, you really can't beat that. You also have Jupiter there as well, which will expand your place in the world. So whatever you want, I would go and get it. But definitely a good time for love for you there, Gemini.
I love it. And Gemini switch cards, and I don't know why they told me to switch cards. And I switched to my flower therapy deck, and it says laughter. Up yourself and those around you through loving laughter. And that means have a good time. Kind of goes with the card that I pulled with the yellow rose. And I so believe what Chris, just told you. It is a really cool time. Got a lot of energy in the universe coming, for you. And Gemini, you go get it.
Yep. Cancer, you have the Nine of Cups, so wish fulfillment, something that you're wishing for, right? And yeah, I think it's just like a good time for fulfillment. There's nothing in your sign right now, so which is a good time for fulfillment, having a good time, doing things that you enjoy. That's what I would focus on there.
Well, good. You know what I enjoy, and I'm a Cancer. I'm going to enjoy going to Winning Pond because I want to take a tarot class. So
Of
that's
course.
wonderful for me. And anybody out there, I'm going to take it. So I've been reading tarot for a very long time, but I think it's so cool, Chris. I always love to see how other people do it. And so if anybody else wants to take the class, please go to Winning Pond. What is it? And
Pond.com.
And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to do it with me. Anyway, for Cancer, which is me, simplify your life. Oh, yeah. Do that. It says, you've had so much going on that you're spread too thin. This has to change now so your vitality can recharge. So, Cancer, what I'm going to tell you is if you're spread too thin, it's the summer. Take a deep breath, just fun, and just relax. Try to simplify things like Chris said, in the beginning. And that was the reason why, that people make things complicated. And he wants to simplify them for you. So, Cancer, please simplify your life, including me. Go ahead.
Leo, it's all about attention for you, Leo. So Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. I think Leos do need to get more attention on their work. So whatever that means for you, and also new work. So if you're doing, like if you want to make changes in the work that you do, now is the time to make those changes. Because I think there's a lot of attention for Leo. But I also, feel for Leo that that's like the thing that Leo has to do is try to get attention on the work that they do. So it's time to like brag, Leo. You should be good at this. And yeah, I think it'll help a lot.
I love that. And Leo, what I think for you, which is really interesting, is wise soul. Okay. And it says your soul carries ancient wisdom. Please embrace it as you have the knowledge to help those around you. And Leo likes to be in charge. Leo likes to be on top, and they like to be seen.
Mhm.
Some Leo don't, but I think that most of the Leos do. And that would be, you are a wise soul because you want to help, and I love that.
Yeah. Virgo, you have the Three of Wands, time of expansion for Virgo. Virgos, I think, are kind of like grounding whatever the thing is that they've been working on for like the past 3 or 4 years. So, whatever you've been working on in your life in a long time, I think you're kind of making that foundation more solid. Let's put it that way. And so that's how I see the Three of Wands for you.
I love that. And Virgo, and anybody that knows me, I go, as if I've no earth sign in it. So when I hear Virgo, I'm then grounded. And I love Virgos. I've got a lot of them in my life. And this one card is so apropos for you. And it says past life healing.
Mhm.
And it's a forget me not. Well, you can't forget a Virgo, I can tell you that. This situation has been triggered by one of your past lives. Heal the past and you bring healing into the present. Just think about it, Virgo. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, yeah, this makes sense.
It's a good one. Libra, you have the Two of Wands here. Actually, Libra, there was another card that wanted to come out here. Yes, Libra, you can't make that up. He's got the whole world in his hands here, and you got the world. I knew that card was talking to me there. So I wanted to just grab one, but two came out. So Libra, I think it's time for you to leave a comfort zone. Two of Wands is all about taking the lead in your life, leaving a comfort zone and getting out into the world. So I think it's time for Libra to kind of get out there. I think you need Libra really for like the past, I don't know, like 5 years. I think the name of the game for Libra is exceeding your own expectations. So, take whatever you're trying to do, multiply it by 1,000. And even if you only get 10 times better than what you wanted, that's better than what you wanted. So I think that's what Libra needs to do right now.
I love it. I love Libras too.
Mhm.
Lots enough. All of them that have to do with Venus, love, and beauty is just something, I don't know why I don't have any in my chart, but So I have stand by your commitment, Libra.
Mhm.
It's a lily. Anytime I see a lily, it warms my heart because I am a lily girl. And it says, you're strong enough to keep the promise that you've made. Don't back down now. Your angels believe it.
Mhm.
So
Love it.
me too.
Scorpio, it's time for you to release your armor. This right here is a lobster. It's not a scorpion, but it kind of looks like a scorpion. So I think that it's time for Scorpios to kind of move towards their emotions. So like, what are your emotions telling you to do at this time? You have a lot of energy in your opposite sign, Taurus. So it kind of makes sense that you're in that like underworld energy. Sometimes like that emotional energy is underworld energy. And so I think it's time to release your emotional armor, kind of like follow your emotions.
I love that because you do know Scorpios is about the underworld.
Yeah,
It's that Phoenix rising goes all the way down to the
of
underworld
course.
and back and reinvents itself. So that is like the perfect card that you pulled for Scorpio. And I've got a lot of Scorpios around me. And I also pulled Scorpio, you are lovable. Well, you are the sexiest in the zodiac. So you want to be loved one way or the other. But I feel like a lot of Scorpios, they're so intense that I feel like sometimes there are people who they're super intense. And so that you either love the Scorpio or you'll have to walk away because they're too intense for you. I have so many Scorpios in my life. I find them very fascinating. They make the best of friends. They make the best partners. They make the best, we'll say sexual partners. But if you know a Scorpio and you're friends with them, they will stick to you like glue. Just don't screw it, because then they're going to walk away. But it takes a lot. And I picked up You Are Lovable. It says, love who you as you're created perfectly, Scorpio. Everything about your true self is beautiful. Please, Scorpio, know that this is the perfect card for you.
Sagittarius, I'm throwing your card. You have the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups is about following your heart here, Scorpio, or Sagittarius, sorry. And sometimes, this is Cancer, but sometimes I look at the Queen of Cups as Scorpio. So some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio or something as well. But what I would say with the Queen of Cups is like follow your heart. And I think the karma for Sagittarius right now is to kind of really put themselves first. I think that maybe over the last year or so, you've dealt a lot with other people or, some sort of, I think that you've had a karmic event. I'm trying not to babble on here, but I think it's important that you've had a karmic event maybe involving other people, and it was to teach you to like follow your own heart. So if that happened to you, I think you should follow your own heart.
I love that because I also have Sagittarius rising and I also have a Sag kid, just like a Scorpio one.
Mm,
I so can relate to that. And I've heard that more. And
mm,
old for you, Sag, because Sages are wonderful. They're, to
mm.
me, they're half. They're half horse and half human or minotaur, whatever you want to call it. They're always looking up into the air and sky. That's why they've got their arrow. They're aiming for the stars,
Mm.
but they're grounded. So they're a really cool sign. They put their foot in their mouth when they really don't mean to hurt anybody, but they do put their foot in the mouth, and they don't and it's hard for a Sagittarius to lie. You can
Mhm.
usually tell. So I love that about Sages, and they usually just tell it like it is. And right now, Sag, what you need to do is smile a little bit more. What you talked about with that karmic event and learning something, this goes perfectly. It says, simply smile and notice the profound and healing difference it makes. So this is what you want to
Mm.
do, Sag, at this point, right now. Okay.
Capricorn, the truth is coming out for you, Capricorn. You have the Ace of Swords, so and a victory. I think Caps are kind of like due for some pretty big victories at this time, and I think that there's some big wins coming in for you. But I also think Caps need to start like living their truth, not as in you lie, but as in like what do you want? What truths do you want to live? And I think that if you start telling the truth with your actions, that's where the success is for you.
I love that. Capricorns, I just got a new son-in-law that's a Capricorn, and they're also a two. I always call them the sea goat.
Hmm.
So they're an earth sign that's totally, half the emotion, which is a fish, your fishtail. And so there's such a cool sign for me. I like it's that, the goat that's going to walk up that, but he doesn't go straight up the mountain because mountain goats don't. They go around to get there. But yes, he's grounded, but he's very emotional, or
Hmm.
they're very. So I picked up, and I love what you said. This is called peer pressure, and I don't love the card because I think that people think, oh, peer pressure, but it means it's different for everybody.
Mm.
But don't let others coerce you into a decision. You know in your heart what the right choice is. And that's why I wanted to bring up the sea goat, because they are grounded, but they do have a lot of emotion behind it. So be careful, Capricorn, because you don't want anybody to give you any peer pressure about work, job, love, life. And I do believe this is something you're going to have to watch.
Hmm. What are we on? Aquarius. How could I forget Aquarius?
We have
You have the
the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, of course. Right. How could I forget? You have the Five of Wands here, Aquarius. I think it's time for Aquarius. You and Leo get this the most out of all my signs every single week. It's like you and Aquarius get the Five of Wands. I call this card Indiana Jones because to me, it's like a card of, going on some sort of crazy adventure and discovering treasure. So I think there's a lot of treasure that's going to, exist for Aquarius, especially Pluto going into Aquarius, but you have to find it. So you have to like go on some treasure hunts, some adventures, push yourself outside of comfort zones, but also like just do things you've never done before. And it could be like the smallest things, going to a different store than you normally would go to. But that's where you're going to discover all your treasure. So do it.
I love it. And I love treasures. Are you
Mm.
kidding? Especially if they have like gold and diamonds and all that kind of stuff. I love that.
Mm.
And I know you're not that, but you never know. And I pulled up especially for Aquarius, open your third eye. I love this for them because I have an Aquarius husband. I say he's a muggle. How can he be a muggle? Actually live with me? But
Right.
and Aquarius are forward thinkers. So, and a lot of people in Aquarius think forwardly, and they are metaphysical. And if they're not metaphysical because we don't know them as metaphysical, they're metaphysical because they are forward thinking.
Mm.
I love that about them. So it says, open your third eye, Aquarius. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to open their third eye. We are in the age of Aquarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Left,
Yeah.
right. So, we're in the age of Aquarius. I think we've got Aquarius for the next 2,800 years or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it says it's safe for you to open your center of clairvoyance. By doing so, you'll see the truth. And I do
Mm.
that, or I do feel that Aquarius are truth seekers.
Yeah. Pisces, I think you have to stop hesitating, Pisces. Knight of Pentacles, it's like there's this big empty field just waiting for you to plant it right behind you. And I think you have to get to work. I see, I think this is like, speaking of Gemini, Pisces, the two opposite signs, like you really have an opportunity, Pisces, to be very successful, but it's not going to magically happen. So I think there's something Pisces is like hesitating on, or it's like, those things where sometimes you think about something that you kind of like want to do, but at the same time you're nervous to get started, or you like want to do something but you just also don't get started on it. It's like whatever that is for Pisces is what Pisces needs to get moving on here with the Knight of Pentacles.
Okay, so I'm a counselor. What are you looking to get involved, Chris?
I've already gotten started, so
I'm always
so nothing. I actually do what I say, so there you go.
That's right, and that's why you have dent makers, because you're teaching other people to do what they really want.
Yes.
And that what I got and why I asked you was sign from heaven. What you just said is what you got. So it says sign from heaven. Your loved one in spirit are waving hello and giving you reassurance that you'll be all right.